Good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's almost the end of October, Halloween, daylight savings, all that good stuff. But I am here today with my very good friend Jake. Did you pronounce it Reiderer, don't you?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Okay, well, I thought you did.
Nice work.
Jake. Oh, thank you. I had to start out right with something. And you have a totally different concept, fairly new, but it got new because you just opened up in a new spot. And Jake, I adore it. So I am ready to have you share because honestly, our listeners and viewers will not know all about this. So Jake, you're ready to go with open.
That's correct. Thank you so much, Gabby.
Oh, the
Thanks for
only
having
thing
us
I
on.
have to tell you is every time I write down open and then I say sandwiches, I keep thinking, somebody gonna think this is an open-faced sandwich.
Well, that was the original concept.
Oh, no, I don't.
So I thought, well, nobody has an open-faced sandwich shop. So I'll ask a bunch of my friends who are chefs if they'll make me open-faced sandwiches.
Oh, that's right.
And then slowly but surely, all of my friends who are chefs gave me recipes for closed sandwiches. And so we said, well, we still kind of like the name, but turns out they're just going to be more bread on filling on bread sandwiches. So
so I'm not totally crazy when I think
nope,
I need to make an explanation.
Not at all. Not at all. Although the name, I thought it would be great. I thought people would Google open sandwiches or open restaurant Denver and we would come up first. But it turns out the name totally confused the algorithm. And it took about 6 months for us to even start showing up on search results.
Well, yeah, because if it said open, it would give me a list of open restaurants.
Of all the open restaurants, exactly. So fortunately, we cleared that hurdle and we're now showing up. And yeah, well, it's been a whole lot of fun.
So if it says open restaurant, it'll come up.
If you search open sandwiches Denver or open sandwiches, then it should come up.
Okay.
If you just search for open restaurants, you will get a list a mile long and we're buried somewhere in the middle. So
okay. All right, go. Tell me all about.
So open was a product of the pandemic. I left a job with a small chain of wine bars. We had just opened one here in Denver and it was just too corporate and they didn't treat their people the way that I wanted to treat people. So I left that job as a GM and my wonderful wife, Cecilia, said, well, hey,
I agree. She's wonderful, but go ahead.
She's
as an aside, yes, she is.
She said, well, hey, you've been, talking about that sandwich shop. Why don't you give that a go? So I did. And for a month, I wrote a business plan. And then for the last week of that month, I actually wrote it because for 3 weeks, you just kick the tires and don't get anything done. And then we asked a bunch of my family for investment. And we raised just a little bit of money. And then a month later, we opened inside of American Bonded. So we leased the kitchen of the bar that we're in. And that was in Rhino. And yeah, so the whole concept is we do sandwiches, but they're by different chefs. And each chef comes up with the recipe and then teaches us how to make it. And you can come to one place to get all of them. And to kick it all off, we donate a portion of our proceeds to charity.
Oh, so I did not know that.
Yeah, each sandwich that we sell, we give a little bit from that to the charity of the chef's choosing. So that first round of chefs, we had Jeff Osaka and Dana Rodriguez, let's see, Cliff Blauvelt and Toru Watanabe, John Chavez, and I know I'm leaving one of them out, but they actually all decided, a couple of them independent of each other, and then all together, that they wanted to honor Chef Brandon with Project Angel Heart. And so that's where
if somebody doesn't know, unexpectedly passed away at a very young age, and he was a fabulous guy.
really, really just good people, gave back to the community, was a
Oh,
good
he wonderful.
mentor, just amazing. So, so yeah, our first big donation went to them, and that was really fun. And yeah, so we're just trying to figure it out.
Okay,
We
now you change the chefs who are the sandwiches monthly, tell us about.
well, so probably we'll change the sandwiches every 4 to 6 months, just
Oh,
depending.
okay.
That sort of gives us a chance to make sure that we're making them correctly and consistently and the way the chefs would want them to, as opposed to if we're doing it every month, then we just don't ever really get to lock it in.
Okay.
And also from a supply standpoint, each chef has totally different ingredients. So
Yes,
that
I
means
noticed.
that we have to change out most, if not all, of the kitchen when we bring out some new sandwiches. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people realize how difficult it is because you have to, but wait, you have to continue on because you're not downtown anymore.
we're not. So we loved getting set up in Rhino inside of American Bonded, and they were a great partner for us there. I, as the owner of Open, the kitchen was kind of running, doing its own thing. And my friend Chris Swank, who owns Goosetown Tavern and Mezcal and a number of other businesses here in town, asked me to come be the GM of Goosetown and Mezcal. And so I came over here and I was doing this, and his kitchen, his food concept inside of Goosetown was not doing very well. They were losing money, not doing much sales. And so it was sort of a no-brainer to move Open over here across town so that I could sort of keep an eye on everything all at once. So yeah, we moved in about 8 days, and moved out and moved in 8 days, and turned on the Open sign and started serving sandwiches here on East Colfax.
Okay, now you've been open, what, 4 weeks or so?
3 weeks, yeah, in this
Yeah.
location. Yep.
Well, then I'm doing fairly well. I'm getting through them. But
Oh yeah.
tell us, I want you to tell us about all the sandwiches so people understand the 4 chefs that are doing it now.
Sure. So right now, from Chef Tommy Lee, oh, he's the one I forgot to mention, and he'll kill me for that.
Hi, Tommy, it's fine.
And
explain where they're
his
from.
sandwich
Some
is our
people-
best seller. So Tommy Lee owns Uncle, the ramen shop, and also Hop Alley.
Okay,
Which is,
because some people are not aware of this.
Yep, for sure. So he's created for us a Sichuan braised beef dip. So it's almost like an Asian French dip sandwich. So you've got braised brisket with provolone cheese and red wine pickled white onions, a dark sesame mayo on a baguette from Marzix. And then it comes with definitely the best part of it, a Sichuan dipping sauce. And it's got some Sichuan peppercorn oil in there that sort of just gives you a little bit of, lights you up, not too much, but makes your mouth a little bit numb. And yeah, we sell more of that than anything else.
Oh, I'm raving about all of them, but I just want everybody to know because it is new and people aren't familiar. And
Sure.
After you describe each sandwich, you're going to understand why there are so many ingredients involved in this come have a sandwich.
That's the truth. So next we have from Chef Jeff Osaka, who owns Osaka Ramen as well as Sushi Rama, and had a restaurant super critically acclaimed called 12, which isn't open anymore, which was wonderful. And
That
actually,
was his first.
It was. And then he also had 12 at Madison, which is not far from our current location.
But it's not there either, unfortunately.
It's not. It's not, sadly. But Jeff, I got to know Jeff working down in Rhino at Working Class and Super Mega BN, and he was really kind and helpful in getting Open all set up. And so his sandwich is a Japanese fried chicken kara age.
Oh, it's
And
fabulous.
so
I've had that one.
And it was delicious, I hope.
Oh, it was incredible. I
Good.
almost never ordered even a second one,
Yeah,
not second choice next time, because
right.
I liked it so much, and I figured anything could not be better. But go
Oh,
ahead.
good. So karaage is a style of Japanese fried chicken done with chicken thighs. So it's the dark meat and super, super light breading. So we fry that up, and then it goes on a couple of pieces of shokupan, which is a Japanese milk bread. And we get that from a bakery up in Broomfield called the Enchanted Oven. So it's the only place in Colorado, as far as I could find, that sells shokupan commercially, as in could supply us with enough. So you've got your big, thick shokupan on the bottom, some sriracha mayo, some Osaka slaw, which is great. It's got some radishes in there and some nice Asian flavor. And then your fried chicken. And my favorite part of the sandwich is the Japanese pickles. They're called kyorizuki, and they have this special crunch to them that you won't find in a regular American.
I didn't realize I had so many rare things. No wonder I didn't know. I just, the only way I could say is, oh my, it's good.
Yep. And that's all you need. So we've got Tommy Lee, we've got Jeff Osaka, we have Toru Watanabe, who's the executive chef at a sushi restaurant here in town. He has asked me not to say which one.
Oh, really?
Because he didn't ask his bosses first. He
so
just
what happens if I say?
Then I will be indemnified, I think. But it's
I mean, I can say, oh, I had the sandwich from. Can I say that?
You know, absolutely.
I had the sandwich he's about to describe from Matsuhisa. Go ahead.
So Toru and I worked together at Sushi Tora back in Boulder about 15 years ago, and went our separate ways. And when I decided to do this project, I shot him a text. He said, oh, I'm back in Denver. And he said, I don't think I can do it, though. I don't know if my boss, Nobu, would let me. And 2 days later, he sent me the recipe and said, here, just don't tell anybody. So we just went with it, but the cat's out of the bag.
Listen,
That's
okay?
right. Well, if he does, then I'll take the
Nobu,
blame.
I've known all of you for years. That's
right.
Yeah.
So Toru's sandwich is really quite simple, but fantastic. It's a really nice pork cutlet that we take and pound out a little bit, and then panko bread, deep fry it, but we undercook it just a little bit because we then cool it down and then finish it in the oven to order. So it gets really nice and crisp, but not overcooked. And it's got a katsu sauce, which is an apple-based, they call it a cutlet sauce, or almost a barbecue sauce in Japan. But to me, it's got a lot more tang to it. And then spicy Japanese mustard, and then white cabbage. So it's a super traditional. You can find it in a lot of different, you can find it in gas stations and vending machines all over Japan. But we sort of elevated, or Toru elevated it for us. And if you like a pork, it is just really, really nice. And that mustard will light you up right at the back of the nose.
And that was voted one of the top dishes of the year, I believe.
It was, yep.
In your shop.
Yep. So that was a really nice feather in the cap as well. So yeah, that also is on shokupan. So that's also on the Japanese milk bread from Enchanted Oven. And then our fourth sandwich is from Chef Penelope Wong, who owns the Yuan Wonton truck.
See, I was not familiar with this.
Okay. So
but OMG. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And she's the new generation of chefs who really have embraced social media in a way that some of the old guard hasn't on their own. You know, maybe some of the old guard has people who do it for them, but she has this grassroots following of, 25,000 people on Instagram who line up wherever her truck goes. And
I know why.
Yep. So this is our newest sandwich. She just presented this to us about 2 weeks ago.
It's in my
And
tummy.
it's a Chinese eggplant sandwich. So the Chinese eggplant is marinated in about 6 different ingredients, one of which is a little bit of Sichuan peppercorn. So sort of like the leaf, but not the oil, the actual crushed up peppercorn. And then panko breaded and not fried, but baked. So it gets nice and crisp, but doesn't have all that oiliness that fried egg does.
There was not a drop of oil for people who were afraid of eggplant.
Yeah.
Oh, I just had this. Oh, I adored it. But go ahead.
And then we get some micro celery on there for a little bit of spice and some watercress for the same. And then she has put together a mayo or an aioli with charred scallions, garlic, and garlic sambal. So again, just really great flavors, certainly some spice, but not overwhelming. I don't do well with spice, and I can eat all the sandwiches on our menu.
Yeah, so could I. Okay.
So yeah, that's the sandwiches. Those are the chefs. And then we do sides. So every time you order a sandwich, you get to pick your side. We fry our own potato chips and they're marvelous. We do sea salt and ranch potato chips. The ranch is really interesting if you like that flavor. We make great mac and cheese. We've held over some collard greens from Chef Cliff Blauvelt's meatloaf sandwich from our previous menu. And those are cooked with Coors Banquet beer and bacon, and they're really, really good. And then we also do a side of the Osaka slaw from the Osaka sandwich.
Which is marvelous too. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm listening to this. And my first question is, how in the world do you get these ingredients or even figure out how to do what they told you to do? I mean,
yeah.
I have a recipe to put the chicken in the oven. I could do that. But I couldn't do any of the things that you're doing.
Well, that's why your show's about restaurants and not about cooking, right?
Thank
no, I'm
God.
just kidding.
You know, true. I gave that up for Lent, and I'm Jewish, and this was 20 years ago.
It's been a hell of a Lent then. Oh, excuse me. No.
I say that.
You know, we end up sourcing them from all over. I drive out to Pacific Mercantile and to Pacific Ocean Marketplace. We have to ship in some of them from Amazon. Again, the bread comes from Broomfield, the bakery up there. We looked at actually flying the bread in from LA because that's the closest place I could find. But then, thank goodness, the Enchanted Oven came through and we didn't have to do that.
But you have probably the most unique sandwiches that anybody's ever seen.
I think the collection wise, yeah. And that's one of the really fun things right now. All of our sandwiches are by Asian chefs, and that was just a coincidence. But that means that right now they all sort of have an Asian bent. But 3 months, 5 months from now, when we change our menu out, you might have one Asian chef, one Ethiopian chef, one, you know, American, French.
You had Loca, Dana, who was certainly Mexican.
Yeah.
We've
on our last one, we did a cochinita pibil, like a achiote braised pork from Chef Dana. And then my partner, John Chavez, did a chili relleno semita, which was amazing. So we might have to bring that back.
When you really do, I come all the time that I want to be on that list.
Yep. So I think, to your point, one of the really hard things about what we've chosen to do is that in a regular kitchen, in a regular restaurant, chefs are always trying to cross utilize. And they're I'm going to use this ingredient and this and that and the other. That's really, really hard when you have all these different chefs with completely different ideas. But,
you couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things, but the majority of them are independent and unique to that sandwich. And I think that means each sandwich is a really different experience with everybody.
Oh, when you walked in, said, when I walked in last time, what's your favorite? I said, I don't have a favorite because they're all so different.
Sure.
I mean, frankly, I'd like to have all 4 of them, but I couldn't eat 4 sandwiches because they're
Then
huge at once.
You just need 3 friends, and then you cut them all into 4s, and everybody gets a quarter.
Now I don't have any friends. Okay.
All right.
My next
know that's not
question, yeah, I know. My next question is your cooks are not cooks. They have to be a chef to be able to do all this.
Well, I think yes and no. So Renee, who is our main cook back there, he's our prep guy and our line cook, and he's sort of the head of the kitchen right now. He worked under Chef Dana at Working Class for a number of years.
Yeah, when I saw him, I said, I know that guy.
Yep. And then John, who opened with me, he worked also as a sous chef at Working Class for Dana, and did some time at Tavernetta and a lot of different places.
Background, yeah.
Yeah. So, but in the end, it's all about being able to follow the recipe and execute consistently, right? And the chefing, I'm a front of house guy, right? Like I can go back there and help a little bit, but I don't have the speed. But the chefing, to me, it seems, comes more on putting together the recipe and figuring out all the interplay of flavors and all that. The daily execution is about being really good in your space and about knowing your product and how to produce it really consistently. And, the crew we've got back there does that 100% of the time.
I mean, if you wrap this all up, all I can say is when you go to open sandwich, it's not just a sandwich. It is, you think you're walking into a bar, which it is. Goostown Tavern really is a bar. And I ate there a couple of times. It was pretty mediocre. And when you walk in and you can have it's upscale, gourmet, fabulous meals in a sandwich, and you can carry out or eat there.
Yep.
And I just think it's the greatest. I don't think people realize what a fabulous concept this is.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
There's a lot of detail in there.
No doubt.
So, okay, now tell me, when are you open?
So right now we are open Wednesday through Sunday. So we're closed on Monday and closed on Tuesday. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 11 a.m. until either 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. So Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 10 every day of the week, with 2 bonus hours on Friday and Saturday.
Okay, tell us the location.
We're at 3242 East Colfax Avenue.
Corner of East Colfax and Adams.
Yep, right across from the Bluebird Theater.
Yeah, that's the easiest way.
Yep. So, and you can find us at our website at opendenco.com. So that's opendenco.com for Open Denver, Colorado, just shortened up. And yeah.
Phone number?
Phone number. Oh boy, we just changed it and I don't even know it yet. Hold on, Gabby, let me look at it.
Okay, I called it, but
thanks for putting me on the spot.
Oh, you're welcome. But I must say, it is just the biggest treat. And it's fun to eat when you're eating something different that is that incredible.
Well, that's really, really kind. And thank you.
And all the sides are too.
Yeah. All right. That phone number is 303-399-9703. And the last plug I have to give is for the desserts. They're really simple, but they're the only thing on the menu that's my recipes personally.
Oh my God, and I've insulted you. I never even thought about it.
No, mostly I've got to give the plug because the lemon bars are called Bill Jones lemon bars. And that's because my wife, Cecilia Jones, her father came up with the recipe. When we were getting ready to open, he's a great baker and he put together these lemon bars with a brown butter crust.
I'm insulted that I haven't had it.
Fabulous. Well,
An
we will-
excuse to come back.
exactly. So, yeah. And for those who missed the barbecue that used to be here, we've still got a little bit. We smoke some ribs and do some smoked wings as an appetizer too. So
But
just sort of
from what I
rounds out the
understand,
offerings.
you sort of upgraded that too.
Yeah, we've done a few enhancements, and everything that's coming out of the kitchen right now is just a chock full of flavor.
Well, it's 10:28 Denver time. I am starving.
All right. Well, we open in 32 minutes. So
Oh,
I'll see you at 11.
Shortly. I wish you will, but not today. But probably tomorrow or Sunday.
There
Yes,
you go.
because I can only go so long without.
That's right.
And I'm going to
Nice.
say, can I have 4 quarters?
I like it.
But you are fat. You're adore you, but I love open sandwich. And to you and to everybody, please like and subscribe to the Gabb on YouTube. You'll see this on YouTube, on Facebook, and Instagram as soon as I get it up. And you will see me visiting with Jake often in person at Goosetown Tavern. You are just the best. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Gabby. I really
Much
appreciate it.
love. Great
All
day.
right.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.